Runny nose today. Hello.
Hi.
Dr. Laura Dabney and relationship coach Joelle Brant coming to you live, talking about, we help executive men with their relationship problems or power couples with their relationship problems.
Yeah.
But we're on a mission to help everybody get some help with emotional or relationship problems, trying to help you overcome any shame or guilt or anxiety you have about that by sort of like our welcome mat. We're just welcoming you in. This is how we look, and we talk to you about the same things we talk to each other about in here and to our patients. So we always ask for people to send in questions. And we've been hearing from lots of you, so thank you. And I was just telling Joelle, I got a message from Sam in Chesapeake wanting us to talk about toxic relationship patterns.
Hidden toxic relationships?
Yes, because I hope none of you are going, duh. And there are some obvious toxic relationship patterns. I don't want to assume anything's obvious, but there are some that wouldn't you say we talk about that people don't see?
Yeah.
It's hard for them to see when you point it out.
Yes.
So those are the ones you want to talk about. Someone's calling right now.
Go ahead and mute that.
Is it Lola with more food? We hit the mother load today. Joelle's mother sent in all these tasty treats. Thank you, Lola.
Thank you. Too many, but thank you.
No such thing as too many.
It's true. Okay.
Yeah. So we were happy about that. That's toxic food treats.
It is.
So the toxic relationship patterns, I thought was a good segue because we talked last week about dealing with toxic people in your life. And really, it's sort of the flip side of that, because with toxic people in your life, you have to get a little distance with putting up a boundary or leaving if they're really toxic. But this is where you can make a change in the pattern yourself. So things will improve. You don't have to change or put distance with the other person. You can make a change which will bring you closer to that person because the toxic pattern is in the way. So let's talk about you know what? there's probably at least 3 categories here. So let's talk about one per week.
Okay.
So let's talk about the obvious. The obvious one is the screaming, the yelling, the swearing, the name calling.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So, most people, even if they can't control that, they know that's
not.
They know it's toxic.
Toxic. Yes. They know it's
right. And they may need help overcoming that, but
yes.
That's kind of the ones, right?
Right.
Okay. So if someone does that in your life, you have to put up a boundary. I'm not gonna listen to that. I'm sorry, that's not gonna work for me. That kind of thing. And if you do it yourself, you can't stop. You can't control yourself, then you're gonna need some help with that. But there are some other aggressive toxic relationship patterns that people don't realize. And the first one that comes to mind for me is my very favorite. But I was just helping the person. I'm just giving advice. And then they get even more mad when they say they should be able to handle
criticism or
help. Well, right. Okay. So you just brought up another one. So it's 2. It's 2. There's 2 different versions of this.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So one is criticism, where you're saying, so if something is bothering you and you say, it's rude to be, late all the time, or, it drives people away. You should know that it drives people away whenever you say blah, 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 or dress like that.
I was about to say, that's weird.
Yeah. So criticism is aggressive and nasty, whether you sugarcoat it or not. And it's very hard for people to see that. We're all adults, right? There is no real rule book. There's the law, that's one thing, but there's no other rule book out there. So you opening up the page and saying, it's rude to not put your napkin in your lap, or whatever the situation is really condescending,
judgmental,
and it's not effective. So you're actually going to irritate the person. So you've lost an ally. But if you're doing that to cover up something that's bothering you, then you're not getting that point out. You know, it's rude to run around the house and get ready for the guests when I'm sitting here with nothing to do, or I thought you watch football with me, right? Criticizing them is not going to get that point across. To say, you know, I'm kind of annoyed that you're running around instead of doing the watching football with me as we agreed, is a much better way to go around about that.
I should just have to mention football. Thanks, Dr. Dabney.
So Joelle's team lost this weekend.
Like every single team lost this weekend.
Not mine.
Joelle's husband is an Eagles fan. Joelle is a Giants fan. So it was a very painful week for me.
Is he still in the doghouse?
Yeah, it's fine. No. But okay, so let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. Okay.
You had a little venting
All
session.
right,
That's
I
good.
feel better.
So that's the criticism where you're a little, you know, nasty. But the helping is harder to see because you think you're being helpful. Let me help you with that. Let me help you with this. Let me help you with that. People do that with the false notion that either karma, if I put all good out,
I'll get good back.
Yeah. And people, there is no karma. You just squash that bug for you, but it is not there. Okay. It doesn't come back around, and then you're keeping track. I did 10 good things, and one good thing happened, and you're going to be resentful.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be a wedge. Okay. And the other good thing, you know, is if I do enough good for him, he'll finally get the message and then do something good for me.
It doesn't work that way.
If you need him to do or her to do something for you, you have to ask.
Yes.
This game of I did 10 chores and you haven't done one, it is a roundabout, ineffective, wedge building way of going about simply saying, look, I need you to pick up the trash or take out the trash or pick up the vacuum cleaner and vacuum. I'm feeling overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So much easier.
Yeah. And then usually that response that you get after saying that is, oh, okay.
Right.
And it gets done.
But what happens when you say that? So when we tell people, why did you just ask him to do the chore? People say,
a lot of times, he's not going to do it. He's just going to get mad if I ask.
Yeah. So you're using this fantasy possible answer as a way to not say what you want and go around in circles. I mean, it just gives me a headache.
I know.
Thinking about it. So, right. We know the obvious aggression, the more subtle criticism, or if I put help out there, it'll come back to me, are the more hidden ones.
Yeah.
So if you're responsible for any of those, try to divert to simply saying what you need without that sprinkle of criticism or advice or help. And then your relationship will be better for it. Trust us. We do this. How many times?
Yeah.
Every day I talk about this.
Literally.
Yes.
At least once a day.
Several times a day. Okay. We'll be back. So next week I'm going to be more hidden.
Okay.
There's 2 more categories that most people are just blown away when I say that that's actually putting a wedge in your relationship and not helping. So stay tuned.
All right. See you next week.
Bye, everybody.